Okay, thank you, Roy. Just thank you also for the introduction, and hello to everybody. Just some history, how I came as a port director or directeur général, comme on dit en français, in the port of Cotonou. That is the result of an agreement between the port of Antwerp and the government of Benin that was signed beginning of 2018. So that the Port of Antwerp International would take responsibility over the management of the Port of Cotonou and support or consult the government how to develop the port. So that's how I was contacted. My previous job was head of constructions of a container terminal in the Port of Moyne, also for APMT. And before that, I did the port director, project director for the construction of the Lomé container terminal for MSC. That about my construction experience. And before that, I was 24 years active in general cargo container terminals, of which 10 years responsible for a portfolio of terminals around the world, also included the repair companies, barge companies, etc. So I'm in the third phase of my career. The first time I'm being a civil administrator, so not a private, and then in Benin. So I will talk about what our ideas are about the West African development for ports, and more specifically for the port of Cotonou. Of course, we started with a general appreciation of what's happening in Cotonou, and a complete reorganization of the Port of Cotonou administration. So focus on the general things, of course, dematerialization, very important, cost control, very important, a more dynamic organization where the people really have to say their how to develop the port and so on. We as directors, we take the responsibility for the decisions, but a lot of the idea have to come from the people on the field. So we have to place the right and the young people to be the motor of the development of the port. And of course, the transparency, which is in the region a very sensitive word, but it doesn't mean anything more than make your client feel comfortable about the service and the pricing in your port. So we have three big lines of development. So if we can see the slide now, that would be great. Yes, so that's the one slide I have. That gives you a general view of the, the Port of Cotonou, and it includes also the new developments. So first is focus, apart from the whole reorganization and the internal organization of the port, the relations with the politics, etc., how to take decisions, etc. We developed a master plan, a plan directeur for the port, which we are executing now for the moment. Cotonou had some delay compared to the other ports like Lomé, Tema, ports in Nigeria or in Cote d'Ivoire. We had some delay in developing the infrastructure, so we have to be creative and combine it also with an idea of the general service of logistics and the role that the port could play in the region. No, we don't see ourselves as a real hub port, as Tema does, or as Lomé does, and other ports and terminals do. We see ourselves as a logistic platform for the region. So I will come back on that later. First of all was to improve the access for the ships, and then for the trucks on the other side. So the port have to be responsible for a safe access to the port and for the region around the port, because we are in the middle of the city. So there is a lot of problems with congestion and trucks parking everywhere. We had to solve that as well. So, but for the ships, we now are able to enter the 300-meter ships after our purchase of the two new 80-ton tugboats. We will be able, we did already the test as the other ports did in the West African region with the 300-meter ships. And we have to go to the 360-meter ships, that's for sure. So we have to create a bigger turning circle, which you can see we have to go minimum at 550 meters. There is a, maybe I can show it here. I don't know if you see the pointer. There is a traverse here. No, a little bit more. Yeah, there's a traverse. It's working as a key, but it's also the protecting the port, the inner port, and that limits the access of the ships, of the length of the ships. So we will construct a new Terminal 5. The decision is in a final stage of selecting of the construction company, 23 hectares, and then that will allow us to have another 550-meter quay at 16 meters, and that will create the inner circle we need to receive the 360-meter vessels. So that's one thing. Terminal 3 mentioned there is, it was mentioned by the consultant before, Mr. Mensah, that the Bolloré concession, that's really the only concession we have today for a container terminal. So I was saying the ship's access, also the access for the trucks. So we created outside the port parking area with all facilities, all modern control systems, etc. And we will call fur et mesure the trucks when the cargo is ready, so that we limit the time, the dwell time of the trucks in the port to maximum 3 hours. That's for all the type of operations. Yeah, with one central access where everybody is concentrated. So the truck can only enter when all the administration procedures are done and when the cargo is available. That about the access, ship and trucks. Then, of course, we want to increase productivity, and we want to go from a public berth concept. We follow the trend that we see everywhere, of course, to landlord concept, where we have these 5 terminals. Terminal 2 and 3 container terminals, Terminal 1 and 2 general cargo, bulk and liquid terminal, and Terminal 4 is it's the cluster of the hydrocarbon, no? the gas oil, etc., the gas. So there is a cluster terminal of different companies, 4 at the moment, that are operating in this Terminal 4. So that goes with the higher productivity. So the concession will take care of the organization of their terminals, the concessionary, and that's the model that is followed now by most of the port, I would say even in the world. Yeah. So a part of that, and a very important point of our plan directeur, of our master plan, is the development of a logistic area. It's mentioned there. It's 43 hectares. We increased it a little bit, and that's like an initial initiative to create a real logistic and distribution area. We understand a lot more than just warehousing, stuffing, stripping of containers and warehousing. No, it's a logistic with the added value. You will be able to do assembling, you're able to do customizing of your cargo to deliver then to the final client. You will be able to re-export, and all this in a kind of a free trade regime. Not exactly, but it's very alike. I have experience with that in other ports in the free trade zone, and we take this as an example. So we stress a lot the importance of the port as a logistic platform that offer extended added value logistic services as well. And that goes with a number of related services, for instance, the bank service, IT services, and labo services that are all located in the zone logistique. And the administration would be also located in what's called, mentioned there as the Centre des Affaires Maritimes. That's also a project we have on the pipeline now, and we are starting looking for contractors. So that's the main principle of the development of the port of Cotonou. Remember, we want to be accessible for the bigger ships as well. We don't see ourselves as a hub port, but yes, we do see ourselves as a logistic platform for the added value of logistics in a kind of a flexible regimes that allow our clients to re-export, export, very flexible, very fast, administration, very lean, and where we can do also added value. If you take, for instance, one employment in a container terminal, if you compare it with the number of containers, let's say 1 to 1, then a logistics service creates 9 jobs, 9 times as much as a conventional container terminal. That's the plan directeur. The timing is that we will start with Terminal 5, then we will start with extending the dock 150 meters more or less, create 2 container terminals, and all at the same reconstruct the quay walls, bring it all to 15, 16 meters, and start developing the zone logistic. The area is there. We are working on the legal framework, and we receive already a lot of interest. We see a lot of interest from the logistic community. So it's not only about port and port infrastructure, it's also about a logistic concept that we have to develop in West Africa that goes a lot further than the actual warehousing, etc. Okay, thank you very much.